name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder of one that's in our midst. Happy Savior's Day. Happy 2022 Savior's Day. And if you had the chance to hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan deliver the Swan Song, you are a very blessed individual. And if you haven't had the chance to hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you can view the Swan Song on YouTube and all over Facebook. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man, a podcast of brothers who desires nothing more than to present a positive image of what a striving man and God should be. For we all are family men who love our children. We all are businessmen. We all are youth mentors. And we all work hard in our communities to make it a decent and safe place to live. When putting this podcast together, we decided to govern our actions by 3 rules. 1 was to put God first in all that we do. 2 was to present content to podcasts that can make you a better you. And 3, to display brotherhood and unity amongst men. And you don't see that much these days, that you could be proud of. My name is Brother Kawi Muhammad. I'll be your host and moderator for the night. I'm that brother that's very interested in the root of things, the beginning of things, motivations and inspirations. And so I hope you enjoy those lines of questions. And let me introduce you now to the other host that's on the show. The J in Jock Brothers, born and raised in Orlando, Florida. The brother brings an excellent attitude to each and every show and meeting. Excellent brother to have on any team that you're trying to assemble. My brother, Jackie Muhammad.
All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All right, Jock Nation, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and you know what time it is. It's Jock Brothers time. We making men. We got a hot show for you tonight. We got a special show, special edition with our brother Stanley Muhammad. We got a special edition for you tonight, but we need you to help us out, Jock Nation. We need you to like, subscribe, and share. Go to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and share it on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, share it to all your Facebook friends. If you can text it out to your group chats. Man, we need everybody to hear this message tonight. Look, we on the initiative. We still on our initiative. We want to get the baddest, boldest, final call newspaper into the hands of our people that are locked behind the belly of the beast. We're asking you to support our initiative, which is to get the final call in the prisons. Look, we just asking $18. We'll subscribe. We'll help one of our brothers or sisters for 30 days.
90 days.
90 days, excuse me. $36 or $60. If you would like to support the 3 initiatives to help our brothers and sisters behind the walls get the truth. So we need your support, Jock Nation. We need your support. So make sure you support our podcast. Go to Jock Bros, $ Jock Bros, and support our podcast. And make sure you put in the comment section where you want your money to go. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Go ahead, Brother Kawi.
Praise be to Allah. Now, the A in Jock Brothers, you don't see him, but he's very much present. Born and raised in New York City. He's trying his hands at engineering tonight. So if you see videos pop up, that's the presence of my brother, Ahmed. And of course, this brother is no stranger to the Jock Brothers. He has been on our show many times. A long-time member of the Nation of Islam, has served in many capacities, a great asset to any team that you put on. He brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. I'm talking about DJ Rockwell himself.
Come on, brother V.
Muhammad.
Salam alaikum. Jock Nation. I consider myself the extended member of the Jock Brothers. It's an honor to serve. It's an honor to be here to lend support to Brother Stanley, his family, and of course to the Jock Nation. Glad to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Praise be to Allah. No further ado, let's get to work. Let's get to work. All right, all right. Oh man, I was up a long time last night trying to put something together, especially for this show. I want to say, man, the loss of life is always hard to deal with, but the loss of a child hits a little different. For a child represents innocence. A child represents purity. A child represents the future of our existence. When the parents, family, and community have been robbed of the life of a little child by the results of egregious negligence that's rooted in injustice by a total stranger, it compiles the pain of the parents, the family, and that community. Akhirah Muhammad is that little child that we are talking about. She is the precious soul that has been taken from us. And since that accident, injustice has been served constantly throughout this whole process. But today on the Jock Brothers, we are striving hard to get justice for Akhirah. We're going to discuss the accident. We're going to point out the negligence. We're going to expose the injustice. And we're going to allow you, the viewing audience, to call in and ask questions live. We got our brother Von Muhammad. He got his phone line set up to receive those incoming calls. But before we get to the show, before we get to the interview, we want to show you a small clip of a news interview that was held by student minister Stanley Muhammad. Roll the clip, Ahmed.
The girl's life forever changed in a moment, an instant.
Akhirah Muhammad was riding in a car with her sisters when a fire truck collided with them. The vibrant 7-year-old suffered a traumatic injury, and 2.5 years later, she is still recovering from those injuries.
11 Alive's Latasha Gibbons sat down with the family in a story that you will only see here on 11 Alive. Latasha, this crash turned the family's life upside down, and they believe 3 parties should be held responsible.
That's right, Jeff. The family says Akhirah was a fun, loving little girl, full of life and full of hope. But this horrific accident has left her unable to walk, speak, or even sit up on her own. They say after 2 years of being in and out of the hospital and emotional strain, there's only one way to get justice for their little girl: sue those who they believe are responsible.
Hey dude, shout out to everybody in Kepka.
This is Akhirah at 6 years old.
She was full of life. She made everybody laugh.
And this is her now.
Good job, Mama.
Her voice silenced, her spirit still. Her mother, Ruth Muhammad, is spoon-feeding her pureed lentils for lunch. She can't eat solid food. Akhirah is living with the traumatic brain injury stemming from this horrific crash on her 7th birthday. It happened at the intersection of Upper Riverdale Road and Old Dixie Highway. 11 Alive Sky camera shows the aftermath. Ground video shows the front end of the Mercedes underneath a Clayton County fire truck. 3 of Ruth and Stanley Muhammad's daughters were trapped inside. 18-year-old Sophia, the driver, 8-year-old Mariam in the back seat, and little Akhirah in the passenger seat, all on the way to pick out a birthday gift. Akhirah was in critical condition for 2 months.
Normally, as a father, I would be able to correct problems that my daughters are going through. You know, Daddy, take care of it. Daddy would do it. No problem. Daddy can do it. But in this moment, I could not say Daddy would take care of it and make it all right.
Sophia also had injuries.
Her face was bloody. It was all cut up. I wonder why all these lacerations on her face. And now I find out it was from the defective airbag.
Now the Muhammads are suing Mercedes-Benz and Takata for airbags they believe were defective. They say they only received a notice of the recall after the crash.
We got a notice in the mail after the accident. However, they knew before the accident that the car was defective.
Also named in the lawsuit, the Clayton County Fire Department, stating the driver was in the wrong lane and did not use caution while traveling through the intersection. The firemen were not on a call, so emergency signals were not in play. An attorney for the Clayton County Fire Department says this traffic camera video taken from another intersection places blame on the teen driver, not the firefighters. The county is filing a motion to dismiss the lawsuit.
But we know God can restore anything.
While the Muhammads are grateful they can still hold little Akhirah, it's hard not to cling to the memories of the little girl she once was.
To know her for 6 years and all her excitement, you know, her spirit and just the loving little girl that she was. And not to be able to, you know, see that even though she's here.
The family says medical bills and legal fees have taken a toll on them. The father is currently representing himself. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help with some of those medical bills. Now, we reached out to Mercedes-Benz and Takata. When we hear back from them, we'll put their statements on our website. Jeff?
All right.
Jock Nation, with no further ado, I want to introduce you to the strong Muslims in the Nation of Islam. You have to be strong to see that right there. Woo! I'm talking about my brother, student minister Stanley, and his wife, Sister Ruth Muhammad.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I'm sorry.
In the most holy name of Allah, the Beneficent, the most merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the sender of all prophets, the revealer of all truth. And whenever people go astray from God's straight and righteous path, before he punishes that people, he always raises up a prophet or a messenger from among that people to guide them back to his favor, back to his blessings. Therefore, we thank Allah for Moses and the Israelite prophets, for giving us that great guidance and divine light called the Torah or the Pentateuch. We thank him for Jesus and the gospel, and we thank him for Muhammad and the Holy Quran. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Allah. But if I live to be the ripe old age of Methuselah, I can never thank Allah enough. For when no one loved us as Black people in America, no one cared for us.
Come on, man.
As a result of the evil that have been done to us, we, the so-called American Negroes, by our open enemies, it brought Almighty God, Allah, out of his 66 trillion year hiding place and caused him, out of his love for us, to search every inhabited part of this planet. For we, his beloved and chosen people, the so-called American Negroes. And when he found us, he rejoiced greatly And he vowed to the heavens and the earth that he will be our God, our wali, our protecting friend. And we will be his chosen people, is found in both Bible and the Holy Quran. And he said, if we submit to him, he will make us not into a nation of followers, but he will make us into a nation of gods. And to prove his love and his power for we, the so-called American Negroes, he raised from among us a Georgia-born black man, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, fulfilling the book of Malachi, chapter 4, the 4th verse and the 6th verse, when God said, behold, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord, I will send you Elijah.
That's right.
And he would turn the hearts of the children back to the father, lest he come and smite the earth with a curse.
Right.
We bear witness that Elijah was raised from among us. And as we bear witness, there's no death to Elijah in the scriptures. And we thank Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is a messenger Messiah that the whole world have been expecting for the past 2,000 years. And he labored from among us for 44 years. But Allah saw it fit to raise and exalt the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to his right hand. We now know him to be the exalted Christ, fully clothed with the power to crush the wicked and to deliver the righteous and usher in that new and perfect and eternal kingdom through we, the so-called American Negroes. And so before he departed, he prepared one to sit in his seat, one who is a perfect extension of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, to continue the messianic work on earth, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad had a heavenly work. And so we thank Allah for his perfect helper, his perfect extension, the Messiah of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names, I'd like to greet you all in the greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
I am so grateful to Allah for my brothers to think enough of our precious daughter, Akhirah Naila Muhammad, who suffered much as a result of a horrific accident on her 7th birth anniversary, which, by the way, she shares the same birth anniversary as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, May the 11th.
That's right.
This horrific accident on May the 11th, 2016, changed her life and our life forever. So we are grateful to you, Brother Kawi, to you, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir.
Ahmed, and to our brother Vaughn, DJ Rockwell.
DJ Rockwell.
You know, the Bible says, how you know we have passed from death to life.
Come on, teach that.
For we love the brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
And
Come on now.
because of our brotherhood that you felt our pain as a family.
Yes.
And you responded to your brother's pain, to your sister's pain, and to our family's pain, and to the pain of a nation. And that proves that you all are alive and well.
Allahu
And so
Akbar.
I'm grateful to Allah. My wife is grateful. My family is grateful to be on this show, Justice for Akhirah.
Praise be to Allah.
Brothers and sisters.
Well, hold on, student Miss Stanley. Do your wife want to say some opening words, or we good?
Well, if do you want to say something right now at this point? Well, she will say something after we go through the slides.
Okay, yes, sir.
Position the camera on our phone that it can capture both of us, because she actually was taking care of the children, make sure she got them situated before she came up to be with us.
Okay, but before you go further, everybody that's viewing the show, I want you to please share the show. I mean, send it to everybody, send it to all the groups that's in your page, send it to some friends. Please share the show. We really want to try to strive hard to push the numbers tonight and try to get justice for Akhirah. We're about to paint this picture for you that you will see the importance of us standing behind Student Minister Stanley and his wife right now.
That's right.
Brother Ahmed, please present the phone number. Have that scrolling. If you have any questions as we go through this presentation, please feel free to call in. The number is right at the screen right here, 44919-7399. All right, Student Mister, I mean to interrupt you. I got to get that out.
That was a beautiful interruption. Thank you, Brother Kawi.
All right, let's go. Yes, sir.
I want to, as a prelude, I want to go to the monumental book, Our Savior Has Arrived, by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we're going to go into the evidence. We're going to have court today. And we're going to show you, with the help of Allah, the devil's a liar.
Come on.
Because when Akhirah got in this horrific accident, they took her to Southern Regional Hospital and then flew her to All Children's. This was May 11, 2016. And my wife and myself and my whole family was just distraught. We was devastated.
Right.
Because we didn't know if Akhirah was going to live or die. But we got a call, a precious call, from the man of God, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah.
That comforted our heart. And he said that he prayed for Akhirah, Sophia, and Mariam, my three daughters who was in that horrific accident. And he said the spirit of Allah came upon him and assured him that they would be all right.
Okay. That's right.
That gave us so much comfort to know that they would live through the injuries as a result of this egregious injustice that was done to my daughters. And then he mentioned, after he asked, did your daughter run the light? As the news, some news stations said that she ran the red light. I said, Brother Minister, I asked Sophia, and she said she did not run that light. And then the following response of the minister, which actually caused me to go on the quest to search for the hidden truth. He said, brother, the devil is a liar.
Come on.
And that stuck with me. And then he said, kiss my little one and tell her that Allah is going to heal her. And then he said, she is my birthday gift. Now, the devil's a liar. At that point, me and my wife knew that she was going to make it through the hospital, and she did. Akhirah, Sophia, and Mariam, just as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said she would. And then I thought about, after Akhirah came home, about the accident and began to search for the hidden truth. And I want to go real quickly to Our Savior's Arrived, chapter 4, called The Hidden Truth, by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, hiding the truth is a very serious thing to do.
Come on.
It causes harm and disappointment. It causes one to be misled. It causes loss of property and life. It causes the loss of friendship, beloved ones, and loss of confidence and trust. In court, it causes heavy penalties and someone's being sent to prison or to death for that of which they are innocent. The greatest and gravest of all is the slave master hiding of the truth that will exalt and save his slave. This is that great truth. White America is hiding from her once slave, the black man and woman. The white people know and see the salvation of their slaves that is now present. They are doing everything they possibly can to deceive the black man and woman into thinking that they, white people, hold our greater and better promises for a future to the black man and woman in America than Allah God. This will deceive many of our people. And it says, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, Allah promised you the promise of truth, and I promise you, but failed to fulfill.
So I have a question for you, student Mr. Stanley.
Yes, sir.
What tipped you off that you wasn't being told the truth? What about what you was hearing, I guess, amongst the detectives and everything that I guess raised that type of awareness for you?
Well, Sophia she was always a careful driver. And something in my soul and spirit didn't set well with what the enemy was saying about her running the red light. And you know your children when they're truthful.
Right.
And you know your children's behavior. And so it didn't add up.
Right.
And so I went on this search for the truth. And as the 11 Live news clip shared, that we revealed some of the truth that we didn't know. We didn't know about the defective airbag. We did not know that this fire truck was driving in the left lane, which is illegal in the state of Georgia, for a truck with 6 wheels or more to drive in the left lane unless that truck is turning left, which this fire truck was not turning left, and it could not turn left because it's a straight lane. When you have
with that being said, now this is Clayton County fire truck driver.
Correct.
All right. Now they know the rules, right? I mean, they know what lanes they should be in.
Absolutely.
All right. Is there something about this driver that we need to know about? That why was he? I mean, was he coherent?
Sure. And that's what we're going to lead up to. And this is what actually led me to investigate more once I discovered, based upon the law, that he was in the left lane illegally. And there's only 2 reasons why he should be in the left lane. If he's turning left, which, like I said earlier, is a straight lane, so he could not turn left. And then if he's passing vehicles, and once we see the video, there's no vehicles in sight for him to pass. because he turned off of a street called Frontage Road. And those who are familiar with Clayton County made a right towards Old Dixie. That's only a block long. The video sees him basically shortly after he turns off of Frontage Road onto Old Dixie. He goes straight into the left lane and there's no vehicles in sight. If he was driving in the legal lane, the right lane, he would have missed my daughters and the accident would have never happened. And so when I saw the video, after examining it a few times, the first time I saw it, the first thing I saw was he was zooming through the intersection. He was going at a horrific speed. And he was not going to emergency. So
there was no emergency going, but it was no emergency that he was trying to answer.
No emergency whatsoever. So I was wondering why he was going so fast. And then he was driving in a manner, you know how someone's looking at their phone while they're driving, not paying attention, and then they look up and all of a sudden they are facing an accident. Well, that's the way when you see the video that we're going to show, inshallah, with the help of Allah, that accident took place because he did not put on his brakes until he made impact. And then he turned to the left, right? Now, one thing that we've learned in our research, that emergency vehicles, accidents take place more frequently at intersections. So there's a national law with firefighters called the cover the brake pedal law. They're supposed to slow down when they get to the intersection. Now, this intersection where this accident happened is called Old Dixie Highway and Upper Riverdale Road. And those who are from the Atlanta area, or especially those who are familiar with Clayton County, that is a very dangerous intersection. In fact, they did a news story on that intersection, said within the past 5 years, they had approximately 700 accidents.
Wow.
At that intersection.
Wow.
Now, this is what should cause the firefighter to proceed with caution, especially knowing that that's a very dangerous intersection. Coupled with knowing that intersections are very dangerous when it comes to emergency vehicles.
Right, right.
Not only did he not drive careful and prudent and safe as the Clayton County Fire Department guidelines instructs him to do, he's supposed to be a defensive driver. And a defensive driver is one who avoids accidents.
Well, it wasn't no siren going on. It wasn't no emergency.
Correct.
So there was really no reason for him to be speeding anyway.
Correct. So now, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Brother Kawi.
Well, no, I'm just saying there's no reason for him to be speeding anyway. I mean, he should have been at a regular speed based on what you're saying, based on no sirens going on, no emergency. What's the rush?
Correct. So,
Brother Stanley, was it a high traffic time of day?
Well, it was after the rush hour. It was right around 10, 30, close to 11 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
A.M. Okay. And so the thing about this driver, when you see the video, it looked like his judgment was impaired. Now, all these thoughts are going in my mind when I see the video. And then it just didn't look right when I saw the video. Now, so I looked deep into the background of this firefighter called Christopher B. Stripley.
Okay.
And so I went and I did a discovery opens record request after we filed a lawsuit May 2018 against Clayton County and Mercedes-Benz. And I discovered that when I asked for his pre-employment application, and when you get to the application, and it asks the question, just paraphrase, we're going to show you the application, inshallah, that have you had a traffic violation in the past 3 years? If yes, what is the dates and what is the violation? Well, when we got the application from an opens record request, his answer was redacted, which is illegal. So that showed they was hiding the truth. They were hiding something, right? Because the only thing that you're supposed to redact on documents that you request through FOIA or opens record requests is confidential things like someone's social security number, credit card information, etc. So we was trying to compel them to give us the unredacted version, but years have transpired and they refused. Wow. But we finally was blessed through using the wisdom and teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by his Messiah, the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan, to get the unredacted version. And lo and behold, what were they hiding? The unredacted version said that he had a DUI October 10th, 2007.
The firefighter.
The firefighter that was driving the vehicle at a horrific speed illegally in the left lane.
Public servant with a DUI. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Sten. Do you know the date?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the date that his application was redacted when it was hidden?
Well, the date of his application is even more interesting.
The
date of his accident, his application was May 2008. So 7 months prior to him filling the application, he had a DUI.
Wow.
Now,
that's big.
Now, the thing about it is, brothers, is that they asked, how do you find out about the job? He said, word of mouth. So someone told him about the job. He didn't look in the newspaper. So word of mouth means most time it's someone that works for the department, works for the county.
Right.
So it's word of mouth. Why do I say that? If you could pull up the application so we can see that, the redacted, unredacted, so the people can see.
Yes, sir. Brother Stanley, before we do that, do you have any information or a number for those who want to support you? Do you have a way for them to contact or a way for those who are listening to support your movement?
Well, they can actually call Akhirah's Cafe. Give me that number, please. Akhirah's Cafe. And anyone who wants to support can do that. And my wife is pulling up the number to Akhirah's Cafe. In fact, I actually have it right here. Let me pull it out. That's a great question. Thank you, Brother Jackie, for that question. The phone number for Akhirah's Cafe is 404 228 3721.
Okay, yes, sir.
So now if you see this application here, go back to the redacted one, Brother Ahmed, showing that it was hiding the truth. There you go. See how that's the first one we got about 5 years ago.
Wow.
It was redacted.
Wow.
So why would you hide something that you had no legal right to do that? So that in itself violated our rights, right? As citizens of this state of Georgia and of this country and the county. But then after without them knowing, we got the unredacted version. Go back to that, Brother Ahmed. You see that? And it reads, you can read it. Brother Ahmed, can you read that if you don't mind, my brother? So some might not be able to read it. Please, if you had a traffic
It
violation
says
the past 3
October
years.
10th.
Which part you want read, sir?
If you had traffic violation the past 3 years, can you read that?
Yeah. So have you had a traffic accident violation in the past 3 years? He checked yes, DUI, October the 10th, 2007.
Yes, sir.
See that? Okay, now let's go on. Now the question is, why would the county hire someone to drive in a 60-ton fire truck? This fire truck was a tiller fire truck with a long ladder that someone had to drive the rear and the front. Is so long. Get a rear driver and a front driver. So my daughter's being hit by this fire truck was equivalent to being hit by a train. So I discovered and went on the Clayton County Fire Department website, and I actually wanted to see what was the qualifications. I couldn't find it, so I called the Clayton County Human Resources and spoke to a lady named Miss Alexander. I said, if I want to work for the fire department of Clayton County and I have a DUI, can I work for the fire department of Clayton County, even though I want a desk job? She said, no, sir, you can't. You cannot work for the Clayton County Fire Department if you have a DUI on your record. That is automatically disqualified.
Even for a desk job?
She said, because everyone has to drive at some point. That's what she said. I said, well, how long has that policy been in existence? She said, I have worked for Clayton County for 20 years, right? And go 20 years back, right? That's past 2008 when he was hired. That means back in 2008, that policy was active. So I asked, she said, well, let you speak to someone in professional standards. So I spoke to a Caucasian man in professional standards. He said the same thing. He said, you cannot work for Clayton County Fire Department when you have a DUI on your driving history. So then I went to, and then they directed me to the website to back up what they're saying. Please show what the website says and read that, please, Brother Ahmed or Brother Kawi, if you don't mind.
Oh, man, you're gonna have to get Jackie. My glasses. Go ahead, Jackie. I can't see it, brother.
Which part? I can read it.
Where it says application disqualifies, and read it when it says until stop at the DUI, please, sir.
Application disqualifiers because the position of firefighter trainee is one in which the public's trust is high.
Yes.
The standards that have been set by the Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services for completing an application. Please read the following disqualifiers, Before completing an application, please read the following application disqualifiers. Meeting one or more of these disqualifiers may prevent your application from moving forward in the selection process.
Okay, go ahead. And what is, go ahead.
Driving. Accumulation of more than 5 points in the last 2 years as applied in the point key listed below. See other sides. And beyond that, it's a little more, but I'll try. It says driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
There you go. So driving, so a DUI is a disqualifier. Now,
can't even get the job.
They didn't
can't even get the job.
You can't even get the job.
Look at that.
According to Clayton County's human resources and professional standards of the Clayton County Fire Department, you will not be hired. It is it's not no may. it's a disqualifier. So now the question is, who hired him? So he was working illegally.
His brother.
So
his brother hired him.
His brother, right? That's why it's a word of mouth.
Come on now.
See, and if you go back to his application, they said, "How do you hear about this job?" Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
So
Look,
someone did him a favor. Someone looked the other way.
That's right.
And that's the reason why they was hiding the truth. Can you see that?
Hold on 1 minute, brother Stanley. Let me get this announcement in. Look, if you want to support Justice for Akhirah, this is the number you can call. Those of you that have been asking and you would like to support, please take this number down, 404-228-3721. That's 404-228-3721. That's Justice for Akhirah. Thank you, brother.
If anybody has any questions, please give a call in to Brother Vaughn. He's ready to receive your phone calls. And that number is 44919-7399. Just keep it up for a second. Go ahead, Brother Stanley.
Okay, so Brother Ahmed, can you read where it says that how do you hear about the job on his application?
Go ahead, Brother Vaughn. Can you see it? I don't see it, brother.
You might have to scroll up. Let me see.
Which segment is it in? Which paragraph?
Which
segment would it be in?
Let me see. Yeah. Please forgive me.
Yeah, this is the DUI page. I don't see that one on this one.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's not on this one. Check the next one. What's the next application? Let me see.
That's the redacted.
The unredacted one. Go back to that.
Oh, it's the unredacted? Okay.
It might be. Let me see. If not, we can share it in another show.
Okay.
Nevertheless, that's
the unredacted. Yeah.
Right. I have the full application where it says that's how he found out about word of mouth.
Okay.
So now we look even deeper and discovered that since he's been hired, he's been having multiple disciplinary actions of not calling in before his shift. And he said, well, it won't happen again. And then he does it again.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he had to be at work at 7 o'clock and he calls at 7:05 or 7:04. Right?
Chris.
And then even one supervisor said he is actually putting the employees or the fire department in danger.
Think about that.
This is what they're saying about him before the accident. And so here, it goes all the way back to 2011, all the way up to 2017 or 18. And so he keeps saying it won't happen again. Even one of the applications, no, that's not the disciplinary actions. If you go back to the disciplinary actions, personnel file, brother, right there. All right, so these are the disciplinary actions of Christopher Stripling. Go to the next one. This is before. You see all this? These are the complaints by his own superiors about him. And if we can read some of the complaints, we can read that for the audience, because the Clayton County officials was forewarned about this firefighter, Christopher B. Stripling, who was a Caucasian firefighter.
Firefighter Stripling failed to adhere to department policy and procedures with the violation of policy 3.3.1 and 3.2.5. Firefighter Stripling did not properly call in sick at the designated times. A co-worker came into the shift commander's office and advised, Stripling is sick and not coming in today. He said he tried to call but could not get through. This is the third, I repeat, this is the third instance in which firefighter Stripling has violated department procedures for reporting to duty. He has been counseled with regards to call out procedures to previous times. He has ineffectively followed the rules and guidelines governing reporting for duty and has failed to understand and follow detailed oral and written instructions, as this violation was previously explained with a verbal warning. A documentation of counseling on December the 5th, 2009, February the 6th, 2010, and his third occurrence on February 24th, 2010. This is fighter stripling third offense regarding failure to report for duty.
So this man should have been gone.
Yeah, definitely. He
In 2010,
he should have been. Yeah, you don't call off 3 times. Yeah, you definitely. You no call, no show 3 times. Yeah, you definitely should be
He
gone.
should have never even been there.
Black, you'll be definitely fired.
Yeah. No call, no show. Yeah, yes,
Now
sir.
look at his response. Go to the next slide, Brother Ahmed, and share his response. What he said. Read that if you don't mind. His
Employee comments on this date of February 24th, 2010. It looked like I was very sick. I was up all night vomiting with diarrhea. By the time I can't see that, able to fall asleep, it was early in the morning hours. My alarm clock went off at 5:36. I did not awake until around 6:40, 6:45. I mean, he knew what time the alarm went off, but he didn't awake for 6:40, 6:45, and made my phone calls to the station around 6:50 and the captain's office around 6:55. After retrieving the correct number. Now, hold on. Well, he been there 2 years now. He already been working there 2 years.
Hold on, I don't know the number.
So this February 2010. So he'd been at the job two years. So now he had to receive the correct number. I did go to the doctor on this date and provided a doctor's excuse. I apologize for the inconvenience I caused the fire department and my coworkers. I was really sick on February 24th and had no choice but to call out sick. And I don't over like doing that, or ever. I guess ever like doing that. I failed to call between 6:30 and 6:45, and I apologize sincerely.
What was the punishment?
That part. Come on, where? What happened then?
Well,
2 years.
Suspension.
He know the number
right up
where he worked, huh?
He knows someone in power.
Yeah, that's pretty much,
so
buddy.
that's the protection. See that he has around him, because what's the indicative that he actually has someone looking out for him that's in power. He's not supposed to have been hired now. Now, someone vomiting and diarrhea all night sounds like a hangover to me. and I'm not trying to be, facetious, or I'm not trying to be cynical at all. I'm just saying that if he has a DUI, right, then that means he's actually has an alcohol problem.
Well, let me ask you this, student Mr. Stanley. All right, we got the sick part, right? What about has he had a history of accidents?
Yes. Well, after he actually, and let me, if we can scroll through some of the other disciplinary actions, I'm going to get to that because that's right up there. Do we have that one, Brother Ahmed? I think we have that one in 2018. He had another accident after. Go back. I need someone to go back to the disciplinary action, please. Is that the 2018 disciplinary action? Is that, can someone?
No, we're going.
Okay. I don't know if it's in this one.
That's 19 or 14.
Okay, 14. Is this, all these are the same one. He's calling in sick. I said, never happened again.
Oh.
He keeps calling in sick.
Wow.
And so this goes on from 2011
yeah.
to
So
2015. So all
Yeah.
these are different incidents, but the same pattern.
Right.
All right. Now, in 2018, he had another accident after he caused an accident with my daughters. He backed the fire truck into a Clayton County resident's home and damaged the property of that Clayton County resident.
So this is after the accident with your daughter. He's still driving.
That's correct.
And he had another accident.
Now, it's one thing.
He's currently still employed.
Really?
Yes.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Stanley. Now, usually now, I remember a long time ago, I was picking my son up from school, and a school bus backed and hit my car. They just tapped it. But because students was on the bus, everybody had to take a test. The drug test.
Everybody, right.
DUI test. I was saying, look, it was a fender bender. It ain't no damage. But because the police saw it, I couldn't go. I had to stay there, and I had to get drug tested. Now, with that accident right there that took place with Akhirah, are those procedures in place for Clayton County? Because my accident happened in Fulton County.
Well, yes, there are policy and procedures that he had to abide by, and obviously he actually broke those policy and procedures, as I stated, that he has to follow the Georgia traffic laws like everybody else. So that's enforced by Clayton County. It's supposed to be. It was not with him. Clayton County actual fire department, and in addition to that, every time you have an accident, it's a mandate that you do a drug and alcohol test.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about this situation is that they should have immediately done an alcohol test on him because he has a DUI, a drinking problem. So when we asked, did he do a post-accident drug and alcohol test? Let me show you what the lawyer said. If you can turn to that, Brother Ahmed, the lawyer's response to did he do a post-drug and alcohol test?
So, Brother Stanley, is he a CDL driver? Does he have CDL license?
No, that's not a requirement according to Clayton County. No, not that one. Not that. Keep going, brother. To the lawyer's response. Right there. Now go. Now this is a document that we ask questions in the court of law called interrogatories.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to the next page, Brother Ahmed, where the question we asked. Right there. Can you read that as we talked about the question we asked and his response and the lawyer's response on behalf of Christopher Strickland?
It begins with, as to plaintiff Stanley Muhammad, C. Clayton County.
Did you conduct, starting right there, and then the response?
The one right below where it says, do you contend that anyone there?
No, it says, did you conduct?
Number 9.
I see it.
Number 9.
Did you conduct a post-accident alcohol and controlled substance test on defendant Christopher B. Stripling? If so, please state A, the date of testing, B, the performance of the test, C, where the test was performed, and D, the results of the test. Response: yes, Stripling was tested on the date of the incident as soon as he arrived at Southern Regional Medical Center. The test was performed at Southern Regional Medical Center by the staff. The results of the test were negative.
Okay, now, with that, we asked for production documents. If yes, produce the documents, and they did, and we'll get to that. But we called Southern Regional Hospital, and we have proof of this statement by a supervisor who looked into the records and we asked, did Christopher Stripling do a drug and alcohol test there at Southern Regional? They said absolutely not.
Wow.
No drug and alcohol, absolutely not. They just treat him for his alleged injuries, and that's it. Then they provided us this document. Can you go to the alleged purported drug and alcohol test? This is what they gave us. Okay, and it's hard to see this because they gave us a copy that it was not, the ink was not, it looked like it was fading. So when we scan it or we make a copy of it, the resolution is even worse. So I'm going to just talk you through it. Basically, at the top, it tells you that it doesn't say Southern Regional. It says Global Services. Is that what it says? Because those who actually can read it.
It is difficult to read.
At the top it's actually, let me blow it up. Global Laboratory Services. That was not Southern Regional.
Right.
One. And then that specimen number to the right is a number when you call this service, right? Then you give them the specimen number, they'll tell you what kind of test it was and what the results were. At the top, it asks, at the top, it actually asks the question, it says alcohol. If it's an alcohol test, you're supposed to mark it with an X. It's not marked, so it's not an alcohol test. But they just said that he did an alcohol test and a drug test, right?
The devil is a liar.
The devil's a liar. Going back to
so he didn't get tested at Southern Regional, and when he went to this global laboratory, he didn't even get tested for alcohol at all. But their answer in that plaintiff statement that they turn into the courts were he got tested and he got tested at Southern Regional.
Right, the day of the accident, which was false.
Wow.
But this right here is, they got allegedly, right, sent off to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to a lab, right? So it was not that he was in person. And my wife made a good point. It could be anyone's specimen, you see? But why did they actually not do an alcohol test? When that's a mandate for Clayton County. When you get in an accident, you do a drug and alcohol test. So there's another violation.
That's negligence.
When I called, they said this is a 5-panel drug test, no alcohol test. The devil's a liar. So
Brother
here,
Stanley,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Someone in the comment section points out the redacted information we see in this document. Are these redactions made by the family, or this is supplied to you in this fashion?
It's supplied to us in this fashion. So they redacted it, and then a lot of this, and that's a great question. A lot of this document is incomplete because at the bottom it says what was the result of the specimen, negative, positive. None of it was checked. Then it actually, this is the key thing. The examiner or medical provider name, they put CBS. CBS is Christopher Brandon Stripling. So how are you examining?
He tested himself then, huh?
Exactly. So here, this
is a sham.
That's the precise initials of Christopher Brandon Stripling. I mean, we don't believe in coincidence. So we are looking at a lot of this is incomplete. The dates are incomplete. It's so incomplete. So here, the devil's a liar. They're hiding the truth. Because when we get to the video part, then we'll see that this man's judgment was severely impaired. And so I wanted to highlight that, brothers and sisters, because he didn't have that. There was no alcohol test done on him. Now let's go to Brother Ahmed. Did you get the email from Lieutenant Reimers? If you did not, I can talk through it. while you try to look for it. If you can't look for it, that's fine. Well, the Georgia Highway Patrol is the one who did the investigation. And Clayton County Police was supposed to be assisting them in the investigation to find out who was guilty in running the light. All right. So the Georgia Highway Patrol saw a camera at the intersection of Tara Boulevard and Upper Riverdale Road, which is one intersection down the street from where the accident happened, as the News 11 Alive stated. 11 Alive stated. Now, this camera, they call it a DOT camera, which is false. Okay, so they asked Lieutenant Reimers from Clayton County Police Department, can they see if they can pull the footage of the video of the accident? Well, Lieutenant Reimers sends an email, I think on May 16th, 2016, or May 17th, one of those days, to a risk management of someone in Clayton County that deals with accidents, right? And not that one. It's an email from Lieutenant Reimers. It's in the e-file exhibits. And so Lieutenant Reimers said, well, we pulled the video, and he sent the video and said, this video is from a red light camera by our vendor, American Traffic Solutions. And it shows the black Mercedes-Benz running the traffic light. Now, that's a false statement, because think about this. If it's a red light camera at Tara Boulevard and Upper Riverdale Road, that camera, whatever lights in that video, that is the light at that intersection of Tara Boulevard and Upper Riverdale Road. My daughter never traveled through Tara Boulevard and Upper Riverdale Road.
Look at
so that red light that you see in the video, they have deceptively and fallaciously said that that's Old Dixie's red traffic light. Wait a minute. You mean the red traffic light camera that catching people speeding and running the red light at Tara Boulevard? In this video, it happens to catch or capture the so-called or purported red light at Old Dixie, and there's no red light at Tara Boulevard in the video? Who would believe that? So they knew no one would believe that. So they falsely labeled it when they filed it in court as a DOT video. Why DOT? Because DOT's cameras don't specifically focus on lights. It is generally focused on the traffic. But the problem is DOT's cameras do not record audio or video. And if you go on DOT's website today, they say our cameras do not record video or audio. They just live stream. And we got an email from Clayton County DOT. They said the same thing. So that's the deception, again, hiding the truth by saying that, hey, look, here's a DOT camera capturing the black Mercedes-Benz running the red light at Old Dixie. But when the Georgia Highway Patrol supervisor, I recently called him maybe about a month and a half ago and said, hey, you all made the wrong determination. And so he opened up the investigation and looked into what his two subordinates came to a conclusion, saying in that video, that red light is Old Dixie, and this black Mercedes-Benz, Sophia Muhammad, ran the light. I said, that is not the red light of Old Dixie. That's the light of Tara Boulevard. And that camera that caught the accident is a red light citation camera from a vendor of Clayton County Police Department called American Traffic Solutions out of Arizona.
Hold on, student, Mr. Stanley. I know you rolling. I want you to keep that. People been trying to call in and they ain't getting through, Brother Vaughn. Are you up for phone calls?
I sure am. My phone hasn't rung once.
Give it a test, Brother Jackie. See if you can give it a test right quick. You on mute, Brother Jackie?
I thought that I understood that they was calling the number for Akhirah. To the cafe. They was
That's for
calling
donation.
that. Okay.
That's for donation. The call on
Okay.
this show though is this number right here.
All right. Let's clarify that. All right. Let's make sure those who are trying to reach and call in now to speak or ask questions, you can call this number now, 404-919-7399.
Okay.
All right, we'll keep that up.
Now, so Sergeant Robillard actually looked and he opened up the investigation. And he looked into it. I showed him the email from Lieutenant Reimers, which Lieutenant Reimers said that this is a red light citation camera that picked up the accident. And here's a 58-second video clip. When I showed him that, and he looked into it, he said that red light in that camera that we saw, the 11 Lives video, that the 11 Live showed a clip of the red light. He said that is the red light of Tower Boulevard. You can't even see, according to his words, the red light at Old Dixie.
So you wouldn't have put that in the statement?
We have an incoming call, brother.
We got an email. Can you pull that email up, Brother Ahmed?
We got incoming calls, student minister.
Okay, we'll pull up that email of his confession. That
You're
was not the red light.
You're live with the Jock Brothers. Go ahead.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Go ahead, brother. You're live. Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And if you could turn your internet down, if you could turn down the other source so we can just hear you. Go ahead, brother.
You speaking to me?
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Student minister, this brother Muwakil, and to the guests or the host, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother Muwakil. Good to hear from you.
Brother Muwakil, that's my brother from the Marine Corps.
My brother.
Yes, sir. You had a great play of pulling me into the Nation of Islam, sir, Brother Kwawi. So I thank you for that. My question, brother student minister, I look at your children as my niece. I call her that all the time, Akhirah. And I look at your other children the same way.
That's right.
The daughter that was driving, how is she doing emotionally?
Great question.
That's a great question. Well, now she's doing a lot better because now she have been vindicated, not in the courts yet, but vindicated by the Georgia Highway Patrol, who did initial investigation and now is recanting on the statement that she ran the light based upon the video that was shown 11 Alive. And so now she cried when I shared with her the good news, and she thanked Allah. And those tears was really a release of the pain that she had to carry for almost 6 years. And can you imagine, as the minister shared with us on several occasions, that he's being lied on, saying he's homophobic, he's racist, he's anti-Semitic, which we know that is far from the truth, as God is from Satan.
How about that?
Now here, Sophia, on another level, was actually suffering the same thing, because that lie went all over the country that she ran the light, because that was a national news story on May 11, 2016. But praise be to Allah, because we are a very spiritual family. You know, she has been blessed to have some great stability mentally and spiritually. She had been audited a few times, And we thank Allah that she's stable and she's working hard to actually get justice for Akhirah, our family, and our nation. Because Akhirah is a niece of the Nation of Islam.
Come on.
That's
You
right.
know, all of these are Brother Jackie and Brother Kawi and Brother Ahmed and Brother Vaughn and yourself. Y'all are uncles of Akhirah.
That's right.
Akhirah passed away on January 1st, 2022. She returned to Allah as a result of these horrific injuries. Do you know how devastated we as a family was on that day, and still recovering with the help of Allah, still going through the healing process? And the man of God, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, called us a few days later, and he gave us words again of comfort, words of divine guidance. And he stopped in the middle and prayed for my wife and my children and Akhirah. And he said that Akhirah was a great treasure to us as a nation. And he said Akhirah's spirit would not leave this universe. He said she was born in the world pure, and she left out of this world the way she came in.
Come on.
Akhirah knew no sin. This is what the minister said. She knew no sin, nor the results of sin. So she was perfect, according to the Messiah. And he said that he prays that her pure energy energizes my wife and myself to perfect our faith. Akhirah in Arabic means the hereafter. Akhirah in Arabic means paradise. And so in the hereafter, we will be perfect. We will not know sin or the results of sin. So Akhirah gave us a sign in this wicked world that we can live a righteous life. We can be in the world, but don't have to be of the world.
Come on, man. Come on, brother.
So Akhirah is the goal of every believer. And the minister said he was deeply saddened by the loss of Akhirah, and saddened for me as his brother, and saddened for my wife as his sister, and saddened for the community of our nation who felt the loss of Akhirah.
Praise
But
be
he
to Allah.
said that he asked, well, how, because our student national secretary flew in from Chicago to be with us, and he took pictures for the Honorable Minister Farrakhan of the janazah, and my wife and some of my daughters and another believer did the washing and the shrouding, and she looked so beautiful. And at the funeral, she was on a little wooden table, Brother Muwakil. And the minister said, well, was she transferred from that table to a coffin? I said, no, sir, Brother Minister. He said, well, what was she transferred in, and was she put like that straight to the grave? I said, well, she was transferred in like a little wooden table with handles, and we walked her to the grave, and my son Mustafa and myself jumped in the grave, and they handed my daughter to me, and we gently put her body to the earth. And you loosen the ties, there's 3 ties, and you loosen it. And the minister said, well, that's the way of the Muslim world. And that's the way the messenger said that we should do it. but we are so accustomed to the way of the devil. He said, we think that it is not correct, but he said it's most correct what you did. And he said, because when you do it that way, the body is from the earth, and the earth receives its own, and the earth actually does its work, the decaying of the body and the decomposition of the body. Then the body enriches the earth. Then he said a greater sperm comes up, a greater egg comes up, and then he said she will have a new form. So when he said that, he said her spirit would not leave the universe. He said, I pray that her pure energy of her spirit energizes you and your wife to perfect your faith. Will it remind me of the Holy Quran? It says, speak not of those who are slain or die in the way of Allah as dead. Nay, they are alive, but we perceive not. And the minister said, I pray that we have a deeper understanding of the blessings of life and the blessings of death. So the healing that the minister said that she will be healed. She was delivered from that body that this accident caused, and now she has returned to Allah. In the surah of the Holy Quran, surah 3, verse 169 to 170, he said, those who are killed or die in the way of Allah are not dead, no, they are alive, being provided sustenance from their Lord, rejoicing. That's the healing the minister told us on the accident. And I said, wow, here it is. My baby suffered for 5 years, but it'll be selfish for me to want to see her continue to suffer in that body. But Allah will give her a new form.
Come on, man. Come on.
And the minister says, he quoted Revelations to us, behold, I make all things new. He said, once the devil is removed from our planet, new creatures will come up from the earth. Brothers, I had so much tears in my eyes.
Brother, for the call. Thank you.
It was so comforting, so wonderful, Brother Muwakil, to hear the Messiah give us the guidance in sifting through the emotional pain. Because I was the one who had to give my daughter CPR until the paramedics came. I was breathing in her, trying to get my baby to come back to life. It was painful. But to receive the understanding of the blessing of death from the man of God, that she's rejoicing and being provided sustenance from her Lord. She's in the presence of Allah. She's with Allah. What greater place to be?
Say that.
And in the presence of our Lord, she done her job. She fought the good fight. She ran the race. So Allah have given Akhirah the crown. But her spirit will not leave this universe, brothers and sisters. And so I thank Allah. So when my daughter Sophia, going back to your question, heard the man of God's voice and heard his words, that was a spiritual audit. That was so comforting to her.
Yeah.
It helped produce a healing. So I hope I did not deviate, brothers, from the question, but I just am so touched by the question.
Yes, sir.
And
Dear brother, thank you for the call.
Yes, thank you.
Do you have more? Do you have more calls, Brother Vaughn?
We've missed several. So I'm
Okay.
gonna disconnect this brother, and
cut me off because you know me, brothers.
Well, that's what happened, brother, when you have a preacher, brother. We have a preacher.
I was not going to dare.
You can't cut the preacher off, man.
Right. You was wrong.
Stop our brother. But thank you, dear brother.
If we get some more calls to the minister for the sake of time, you can shorten those a little. Do we have any more calls coming in, Brother Vaughn?
Like I said, we've missed several. So now the line is free for those who want to call. You may call back now.
Okay. Look, we are very close to the end of the show. I want to hit one more point for you, Student Mr. Stanley, that you want to make. We're gonna take a couple more calls, and then we got to shut it down at that time. All right.
Okay. I want to whenever if you want to take some calls, that's fine, my brother.
Man, brother minister, he said use her spirit to perfect your faith.
Oh my God.
That's what he said? Use the
No, he said that.
Say it again.
I have it written down here, but
yes, sir.
The pure energy of her spirit.
The pure energy of her spirit.
And this is in the prayer. May it actually energize you and your wife to perfect your faith.
Yes, sir.
So she couldn't do that if she was dead.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on.
And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the theology of time, there's no spirits floating out in space, just righteous minds.
Come on now.
And so we know about out-of-body experiences. Many people, they had out-of-body experiences. And the minister talked about his. You can see, you can hear. Matter of fact, these eyes and ears are not the real eyes and ears. The real eyes and ears are the spiritual eyes and ears. And you can be in China, but your body's here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Come on now.
So we have both. The 1 Corinthians 15 said we're celestial and earthly beings. We're two beings in one. So now here, Akhirah is on the spiritual realm, receiving her reward for her faithfulness. And so the minister said that. And the Holy Quran agrees that she is alive, but we perceive not. So yes, I know that it's the time is fleeing, and I want to give my wife a chance to say something, but I do want to say that Lieutenant Robillard, if Brother Ahmed has that email that he already said we're in agreement, that red light that you've seen in the 11 Live video, that's not the red light of Old Dixie. And that's the court, the Clayton County Court, used that lie to dismiss that firefighter. Use that lie to dismiss our case through a summary judgment and said, based upon that video, she ran the light of Old Dixie. Now, the Georgia Highway Patrol saying that red light is not the red light of Old Dixie. So now in the beginning of that video, you'll see a green light, and we have a picture of that. And that green light is behind those red lights, which is the light at Old Dixie, which is Sophia's light, which gave her the legal right of way to go through the intersection because she was going towards South Lake Mall across Upper Riverdale.
You want to see the video again?
No, well, Brother Ahmed wasn't able to pull down the email. He wasn't able to pull it down.
We have one more incoming call. Let's take this
Brother
call.
Stanley, so we're going to have to.
Yes, sir.
You're live with the Jock Brothers. Go right ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, family.
Wa alaikum salam.
This is Sister Khalila from Muhammad Nas 15B. I was calling in to just thank Student Minister Stanley and Sister Ruth for sharing their story about our beloved Sister Akhirah. May Allah be pleased, or Allah is pleased with her. And the story of how what we can do to help in your getting justice for Akhirah. I just wanted to share two things. Number one, Allah is Al-Awwal, the first, and Al-Akhir, the last. And Akhirah was your last child. So know that that she has organizing for justice, that we are behind you 100%, 1,000%, and that we're going to support you financially. We're going to give our time, our talent, and our tents, and to let you know that I'm here for you, Sister Ruth and Brother Student Mr. Stanley. And know that whatever you need, I'm available, and the believers on the line are available. So know that you're going to be supported, and Akhirah will get justice. My only question is, has the statute of limitations come to pass, or is it renewed because she's on transition?
No, ma'am. The statute of limitation have not expired. Statute of limitation deals with it gives you a time frame to file a lawsuit. So we filed a lawsuit May 2018, so we're well within the statute of limitations, but we met that already. And so now with this new evidence that the Sergeant Robillard said he would testify on the deposition, he'll be more than happy, and the deputies who actually made that erroneous decision that she ran the light, they said they'll testify to vindicate my daughter in terms of that video saying that she ran the red light. So thank you, Sister Kalila, because one thing about you, which my wife can testify, that your words and your actions, they're congruent. Yeah. And we thank you for your beautiful spirit. And the minister said, when your words and your actions are not congruent, that means that there's a disease in the heart. And so that means the opposite is true. When your words and actions are congruent, that means your heart is pure. And we thank Allah for you, Sister Kalila. And I don't know if my wife wants to say something. Let me turn the camera so y'all can see this beautiful, precious wound that gave birth to Akhirah.
Sister Ruth.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Ruth.
For this platform, and pray that Allah continue to bless you all with great success.
Yes.
I'm just grateful that you have this platform so that my husband can, talk about the injustice, and because that's the only way we're going to win. The Most High Elijah Muhammad said that our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb.
That's right.
And so when we take that to heart, we know that coming together as one, we become Allah.
That's right.
And when we become Allah, ain't no evil force, I don't care how powerful they may seem, how much money or wealth they have, they can't overpower Allah.
That's
and
right.
That's what our unity represents. So I'm grateful that you have allowed us to, talk about the injustice and get our people to unite with us, not on anything wrong or lies, but everything that my husband is giving y'all is nothing but actual facts.
That's right.
Right.
It can be proven at no limit of time. And so, because we don't want to carry out no lies, we follow a God of truth, and we're striving to be truthful people. And so everything that we put on here is not opinion, it's not what we think, what we wish, it's only what the facts state. And that's why he has all these, the evidence that he, by Allah's grace, he's a true FOI.
That's right.
He's a true follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because he does not give up. I don't care who it is. When he believe in something, he gonna fight to the end.
Come on now.
Being married to him for over 30 years.
Come on now.
Allah has always blessed him to receive the victory. It might have not been, in a short time, and it was painful to get to the end, but it was worth it. All that pain and struggle and sacrifice and suffering we went through as a family. At the end, my husband got a victory by Allah's grace, because he fought in the name of Allah and in the spirit of Allah. And so I'm grateful to Allah for that. And so I thank you, brothers, for being true brothers and, helping us to receive and get justice for our daughter.
Allahu Akbar.
Thank you.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right.
Kalila, thank you.
You're most welcome. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
Any more calls, Brother Vaughn?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. I don't know where to go with this. I don't want to stop the show really, but what you think, man? You want to make another point, or we good? We gonna ride out. I heard. I saw in the notes we need to do a part 2 to finish out your story. that's something that we can most definitely we can contemplate, discuss. Let's go to final words. Let's knock out the final word.
Okay.
Ahmed, I know you all, Ahmed. Do you want to do final word? He just don't want to talk to us today. Okay.
He's not in a position, bro.
Okay. Do you want final words, student Minister
Oh, we
Stanley?
got one more phone call coming in.
Let's get it.
Let's take one last call. You're live with the Jock Brothers. Go right ahead. But go ahead and turn your radio down though first. Turn your internet down rather. But you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, we on the radio, Brother Vaughn. What you mean?
Going once, going twice.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Alaikum salam.
Oh, I can be heard. Happy Savior's Day.
Happy Savior's
Day.
And this is Sister Jeanette Muhammad, Brother Stanley.
Yes, it's good to hear
And
from
I
you.
just wanted to call. Pardon me?
It's good to hear from you, my dear sister.
Oh. All praises are due to Allah. It's good to hear from you. I've been trying to find you and searching for you. And I was on the call this afternoon with a Sister Victoria, and she gave me the link to tune in to this broadcast. And I just wanted to call to give you my love, you and Sister Ruth, and to let you know that Sister Akhirah has touched my heart. And I experienced her passing. And, we've had conversations in the past. I don't know if you know who I am.
Yes,
you remember
ma'am, I do. Yes.
You do? Okay. So I am grateful to Almighty God, Allah, that she came to me as she did before when your wife was in Mexico. And I just want to let you know that my name, Janet, means paradise. So I've had this connection with Akhirah.
Wow.
And what you shared with us today from the minister, I will forever treasure it. And it gives me, she has strengthened me to hold on to what I have been given and to perfect what the minister has put in us, that we too may share Akhirah's joy and be and live in the presence of our Lord. So I hope that the believers who have tuned in have paid good attention to what you said, because our master teacher is faithful.
That's right. That's right.
And Akhirah, as you mentioned in the past, the minister said, she is my gift from Allah.
That's right.
And I kept going over, what does that mean? I understand now. And inshallah, I'm sure he does as well.
Thank you.
So may Allah continue to bless you. Sister Ruth, I love you. May your daughters be lifted up into the presence of God and go on to do the magnificent work that they're here to do. And may we all be enriched. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you for your comment.
Wow.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions. One is, when is the next court date?
Well, we have to, that's one thing I wanted to talk about in conclusion, that January 13th, we had a hearing with a judge, and he gave us to April 1st to find another attorney, because all the attorneys that we actually had sold us out. And these were Black attorneys, unfortunately. They started working against us than working with us. And all this information, this truth that was hidden, that we discovered, not one of the attorneys discovered it. Although they had all the resources to discover it. but it was not in their best interest. And they were very unscrupulous. And like Mercedes-Benz, which we want to mention that they knew that we had a defective Takata airbag, which actually contributed to the injuries of Sophia and Akhirah. And the airbag cushion ruptured because the inflator inside sends out metal shrapnels that actually penetrates through the cushion, airbag cushion, which we saw Akhirah had a cut on the left side of her head. Sophia had lacerations that we talked about in the 11 Live news story. And Takata said, yes, you had a ruptured airbag. But Mercedes-Benz supposed to forewarned us, but we got the letter after the accident, and it said that in the letter that this airbag is so dangerous that if it actually deploys, it's like having a this is not what the letter said, but this is what they're saying about this Takata airbag, how dangerous it is. It's like having a hand grenade at your steering wheel. But the letter says that it possibly might, when it ruptures, it can cause severe injury or even death to the driver and the passengers. Now, if we would have got this letter before the accident, which they failed to warn us well in advance, then we would never drove that vehicle until the airbag was replaced and Akhirah would still be alive and the accident would have never happened. So Takata admitted that it was ruptured, it was defective, but now Mercedes-Benz arguing to no, it was not defective. So here we are. You want to say something? No. So here we are fighting Mercedes-Benz and Clayton County. They both hiding the truth. And so we are on this battlefield, and we're trying to get a lawyer on April the 1st, and we'll that's the deadline. And that's when the court date will start rolling because the judge wants to go to trial. But we need a competent lawyer, a lawyer that does not mind fighting for justice, and a lawyer does not mind taking this truth that we already discovered and taking it to the next level and using their skills and their talents to get justice for Akhirah, our family, and our community. So the court date has not yet been set, but we are asking if there's any lawyers out there that are competent in this kind of case and does not mind fighting to get justice. We hope they call a cafe and give us the time to be able to give them the file so they can look into it, but stand with us. But we want to make sure that these attorneys that come to our aid have a sincere heart or a pure heart, because most attorneys, all attorneys we had, 3 black ones, their words and their actions, it was not congruent. So we knew there was a deceit in their heart. And so they sold us out, but praise be to Allah, we're still fighting, and Allah's blessing us with angels that we're getting more and more of the truth, and more of the vindication of these false lies that Clayton County and Mercedes-Benz have actually put in the court record. But now, there's no hiding place because Allah is revealing the truth. As the minister said, that the truth, we hurl truth at falsehood until it knocks out his brains. And then lo, falsehood vanishes. And that's what we're witnessing, that the falsehood is vanishing right now, right before our very eyes. I thank you all for this wonderful show. I thank you and thank Allah for you, Brother Kawi. Beautiful spirit, beautiful show. Brother Jackie, Brother Ahmed, DJ Rockaway, Brother Vaughn. Thank you for, all your technical support, your beautiful spirit. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. You, brother. May Allah reward you and your families and keep up the good work. And my wife wants to give you all the greetings and we can conclude.
I just want to say again, you just mentioned about the angels, and I see my husband as, one of those angels that Allah is working through because of his heart, that he has and the love that he has for his daughters, for the truth. And he is the reason why we still are in court fighting. He's the reason why the case has not been thrown out. He, by Allah's grace, I mean, he's a natural born lawyer. You know, like the scripture says, who is this man with letters, without letters, but yet learn?
Yet learn.
That's Brother Stanley Muhammad. He's definitely, you know, Allah has given him, I mean, he's just been blessing my husband to really, you know, take on this case and fight these corrupt, you know, corporations, Mercedes-Benz. How you have a cause and effect and say that the rupture, you know, is there, you see it, but there's no cause. That's not mathematical.
That's right.
That's not mathematics. So we as believers, we've been taught mathematics.
That's right.
So you don't have something happens for no reason. We don't believe in a mystery God. But
Right.
That's what they want to do. They want to put that, you know, you see the airbag. I mean, and I don't know if my husband sent y'all a picture of the airbag, but when you look at it, this airbag, something ripped through it. Ripped the airbag. That's not normal in a, you know, when the airbag deploys.
Mm-hmm.
So something caused that airbag to rupture like that. Ain't no mystery, God. It was a cause.
It is.
It just passed it. And so that's what, you know, the devil is a liar.
That's it.
You know, the devil is a liar. So you have that big old rip and nothing caused it to rip like that. Come on now. There is no mystery, God. And so these, you know, these wicked corporations that are liars, you know, but the evidence is there that, you know, that airbag was a defective airbag. I don't care what they say, the like they say, the proof is in the pudding. And we are looking at the airbag. That's not normal. And so, you know, I thank Allah for my husband, you know, working hard and, you know, doing his thing so that he can, you know, Allah will bless him, you know, to receive justice because of his fighting spirit and his love that he has for his daughters and his family and his nation. Thank you, brothers, and may Allah continue to bless y'all, and we praying for you all success. Assalamu alaikum.
Y'all stay put. We about to do final words for you. But before we get to final words, I know she didn't want me to, you know, say anything, but Sister Ruth, she sent me a text. Look, you know, she sent me a Cash App information. You know, just want to need some donations. This is an expensive case.
Yes, it
is.
is.
A whole family. It's an expensive case. Whatever donations you can send toward Student Minister Stanley and family, it ain't nothing but a blessing from Allah through by way of you. Student Minister Stanley Cash App information is $ Stanley Muhammad 70. $ Stanley Muhammad 70. From the bottom of your heart.
70.
70. Yeah.
What Brother Khalid, you know, that's a good point. I mean, it was one time we had literally paid like over $700 just to make copies for everyone. And that's just, you know, to send the copies to these people that are part of the case. You know, we got right now our car is still being stored somewhere, and we have to pay legal storage every month or 2 months.
Well, it's quarterly. It's quarterly, but
it's, you know, it's still monthly.
An expense.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've been paying that for, you know, since the accident happened to now. So it's a lot of, you know, fees that we still, you know, taking care of because You know,
To
we
reconstruct the accident. So we have to reconstruct the accident, which actually firms normally charge in the thousands of dollars to reconstruct it, because that fire truck has a memory to tell how fast the vehicle was going. They actually said he was only going 40 miles per hour, which we know that's not true when you look at the speed. So we have to get, and these companies are charging, $10,000, and just for fees, just to get evidence. And depositions are expensive. Court reporters, all these, and poor people can't get justice most times because it's expensive fighting the case.
That's right.
Right.
And most of these law firms got millions of dollars in the treasury to do this. So a poor man, it's hard for him to get justice if he actually doesn't have the wealth and the money. But praise be to Allah, we have been fighting this case so far. Allah has been blessing us. We know that Allah has the wealth of the heavens and the earth.
That's right.
And he has been truly blessing us.
Yes.
And we know for sure our precious daughter Akhirah's death was not in vain, nor was her life in vain. And we know that it's going to be a prelude to get justice for everyone. We want to make sure that any of our people who are suffering an injustice, that we stand with them and we show them that we love them, and we're going to fight with them until they get justice. So we're going to be having a protest, inshallah, this month. We have Brother Jermaine, who is working with Justice or Else, telling our people don't get these vaccinations. The team have met with us at Akhirah's Cafe, and so we organized a big protest. We've already went to the Clayton County Commissioners. They're well aware about this injustice. And these are all Black people, the Black commissioners. Yes, they got to do, they can give us justice just like that, but they fear the enemy and they fear standing on truth. So all this time, they don't want to, they refuse to give us justice, and still have this Caucasian, Christopher Stripley, employed at the fire department.
His colleagues
Insane.
Danger to the county.
Insane. And so here now we have our daughter no longer here with us. So we're asking you all, whatever resources you can help us with, we thank Allah for you. But we know that Allah is sufficient for us in all of our needs. Yes. We know in our heart that Allah is going to bless us with justice for Akhirah. And we know that the hidden truth that they're hiding is all going to come out, because Allah says, if there is an atom hidden in the earth under a rock, Allah has power to bring it forth. And Allah is going to bring forth more and more truth. That's right. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about the betrayal of these politicians. And the judge who betrayed our case, Judge Shalonda Jones Parker, a Black woman,
call her name,
portrayed my daughter and had these lawyers of Mercedes-Benz in Clayton County file motions and proceedings against my 9-year-old at that time in 2018 disabled daughter. She dismissed the case, and my daughter had no representation. None. Could not talk. My daughter could not walk. My daughter had brain damage, but she ruled in favor of Clayton County against a disabled daughter, my disabled daughter, and did not have legal rights. She didn't even wait for her to have an attorney. That's against the law. And so we have Black people who are really white people walking on. They're black on the outside, but white-minded. They have leprosy of the mind, and they don't care about justice. They don't care about their own people.
Paycheck, money, greed.
So this self-hatred is prevalent in Black people in the judicial system. And so we thank Allah for shows like this, that we can actually get the truth to the people, because they want to sweep this case under the rug, sweep the injustice they're doing to Akhirah and our family under the rug. But now we're exposing the truth. And Jesus said, ye shall know the truth,
and the truth will make you free. And now we're being free from the lies of the devil, because the devil is a lie. I love y'all so much. I love the listening audience of the Jack Brothers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And we thank Allah for you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Brother Vaughn, final words, brother.
Sir?
Final words.
Oh, brother, I think the family has said it all. The only thing that I could add is that, brother, we, and I'm going to say we, and I'm going to include myself as a member of the Jock Brothers for the statement that we got your back and we love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Vaughn, very much. Thank you.
Brother Jackie, final words.
Yes, sir. Man, thank you for your strength, your courage, your tenacity, your example of family, of being a family man, first of all, a father, a husband, the brotherhood that I've known you, I've known of you since the 90s, brother.
That's right.
So, no, I love your consistency, brother, in who you are. That's Brother Stanley. That's you, brother. And you're very consistent, brother. And I'm extremely proud. I'm extremely proud of you, brother, because, when we served together in Florida, brother, I've known some of the obstacles that, you have faced and overcome by Allah's grace and mercy.
Yes, sir.
So, and I was so thankful for you coming on, brother, to share this story, because I've never heard the full story of what happened.
Same here.
Until now. And man, brother, so because I was telling Ak, man, I was like, man, we have to be a part of these movements of our brother. If we're not, because the enemy, they latch on to each other, brother, and they latch on in silence, but they move like water, against us. So we have to do the same. We have to unite and be a part of each other so that we can heal each other's pain. So definitely, brother, we do support you, brother.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Man, so definitely keep us in the loop of everything that you're doing so that we can get it out to our listeners and keep them informed. But keep us informed, brother, so we can be a part of what you're doing as well.
Yes, sir.
You and your family. So may Allah continue to bless you and keep you and energize and perfect you and your family's faith, like the minister said. All right, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam. I want to say this, brother Jackie and brother Vaughn, real quickly. We have Akhirah's Cafe as a memorial to keep Akhirah's name alive. Brother, when you walk in the cafe, you feel Akhirah's spirit. People, we have white people, Asian people, we have, black lost founds, we have people from all over the world, from Israel, coming to Akhirah's Cafe. And when you go to Akhirah's Cafe, we have a plethora of 5.0 stars of reviews. And when you read the testimonies, you'll see that white people have a spiritual experience. Black people have a spiritual experience when they come to Akhirah's Cafe. And by the way, the food is off the chain good.
Who cooking
it's the best food in the city. Based on how to live, everything organic, nothing GMO, no soy, no canola oil. We pick the best of foods because that is the spirit of Akhirah.
I bear witness.
We carry the Final Call newspaper. We carry the books and tapes of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the lectures of the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan. We played the swan song at Akhirah's Cafe because that's the way Akhirah wanted to have it. The swan song, it was so beautiful. So I encourage you all, if you really want to support us in another way, come to Akhirah's Cafe. And boy,
yes,
that lamb Philly, brother, is so good. You might want to eat. You might eat your fingers now.
Yes, sir.
That salmon burger.
We're gonna rename that salmon burger a Jock Burger.
So
we're gonna make the salmon burger a Jock Burger.
So I just want to tell you all that this is another way you can support in Akhirah's Cafe, and you can go online at www.akirascafeandstore.com, and you can actually place orders on. We are on DoorDash and Grubhub, and we just have a wonderful a place where we can keep the memory of Akhirah alive, and the wonderful atmosphere that you can sit and enjoy a wonderful meal. So thank you very much, Brother Jackie. Thank you, Brother Vaughn. I love you all and the words that you shared. And I'm going to tell you about my wife. I could not even be the man I am. She's talking about the angel and all that stuff. Look, I want an angel when she met me. So she's the one who helped me be the man that I am. And I could not be the man I am without a beautiful MGT in GCC.
Come on.
And I thank Allah for my MGT, this wonderful follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and divine leadership of Honorable Minister Farrakhan. This woman comes straight from the mothership. And I tell you, I wake up with a woman that's
Go ahead, Brother Stanley.
in the spirit. And I have been with her since I met her on my 18th birth anniversary, November 11, 1988. That's when we met. She was 16, I was 18. We've been rolling ever since. And we got married in 1990, April 21st. And she had blessed me with 7 girls and 2 boys and 8 grandchildren. And I love this woman. She is the best woman on the planet.
Come on.
For you.
Boy, I tell you, boy, I said, man, that woman beautiful from the outside, inside, the left side, the right side. I mean, I love this woman, and she fuels me every day, and she gives me the word of God. She tells me what thus saith the Lord. And she's not just my wife, but she's my best friend.
Absolutely.
And I can't have the better helper than my wonderful wife, my baby Ruth.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to tell you all that if you don't have an MGT, you better get one quick.
Come on now, say it again.
You can't get one unless you have to.
Come on now. Do I need to put that in the notes?
That S on your chest don't stand for Superman. It stands for single and suffering.
What is it?
No more, man. You can't live off of Checkers and Taco Bell forever.
If she ain't an MGT, I don't want her.
There you go. You heard it from DJ Rockaway.
I don't want her.
Thank you. That's my baby Ruth.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Final words, Brother Ahmed. Okay, Brother Ahmed, if you don't say nothing, we're going to get your sister Aquila to come on here and give your final words, brother.
That's my sister right there.
Call in, Sister Aquila. Let me get final words. You know how I feel about you, student Mr. Stanley.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Man, y'all ain't got nothing but fighting. Y'all ain't got nothing but fighting, brother.
Praise be to Allah.
And if it wasn't for the fight that y'all have in you, brother, I couldn't have developed as much as I have developed. I got the Rock to lean on. I got Student Minister Sharif to lean on. But I also got you to lean on, especially when I have a question or have some confusion about something. I could call you. You always take my calls, brother. I really appreciate you and love you for that. Look, you're gonna get your justice. It's a little trial, but you're gonna get your justice, and I can't wait for that day. But it ain't gonna be nothing but a celebration for us and the believers.
That's right.
So keep on fighting the way you fight, but like
that's right.
You got it right. You just don't know how to quit. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't no quitting you.
That's not there for a while.
Dark, man. You just keep fighting, brother. So
that's there for a while. That's it.
That's it, right, man. So love you for that type of spirit, man.
Yes,
and that's an excellent example for any striving FOI that's trying to be a better man. That's right. Praise be to Allah. This thing. I guess I ain't got that call from Sister Aquila or Brother Ahmed. So, Brother Jackie, take us out, man, in the way that only you can take us out, brother.
Well, Jock Nation, like we always say, another one.
Allahu